What's up, guys? First time ever doing a live YouTube stream and really pumped up. I would like to try to maybe even do this from my gym. The tough thing would be the music in the background. So I'm going to do a little Q&A here coming from the Underground Strength Academy, undergroundstrengthcoach.com. Usually what I do is I take questions from the forum and I answer them, but I make the YouTube video unlisted. But I wanted to put this out there. So I'm actually going to just share that, hey man, I'm on YouTube Live. Never did this before. Gonna crush this question. So let me just post this up and we'll take it from there. Hi guys, going live on youtube.com/user/ZEvanish right now. Hope to see you there. Boom, baby. Okay, whoops, going live on YouTube. All right. So let's get into this question here. I'm going to keep the name anonymous. Nah, we'll see. Yo, Z, hey, bro, I finally got my gym open in my hometown. It's a CrossFit facility. Well, let's give my man some props here. Actually, you get worried, like people ask questions, does this need to be private? We've had some great support from our community, and things are really working out great so far. I've had a few coaches from a few sports from the local schools approach me within the past 2 weeks asking me, when are we going to start training kids? I'd love to get an underground style training program set up at the gym. I've gone through your online certification and I've been using your methods for a few years now. So I've got a few questions. During the school year, what time slots and days do you find work best to get kids in the door? Do you change your training hours during the summertime? I kind of figure that most in-season athletes will only train in the gym once or twice per week. Would you recommend writing a different workout for the kids in season compared to off season, or just use my coach's judgment on load and volume for the workout of the day? So let me tackle those questions first. So first of all, congratulations. You know, my one location is in a small town and we get zero support from the town. I love putting that out there. And I always say it's so expensive, it's free. So I've offered it free for many people. And I like to really explain to other strength coaches, look, what works for me in my town may or not work for you. What works at this one location of mine works a little bit differently, and something's different altogether in our other location. Different people, different places, different mindsets, different attitudes. So what times do we utilize? 4 p.m. is a really busy time, and 7 p.m. was very busy. But what I found is that one of my gyms, we don't have a lot of people that from here that work in the city, or their schools get out earlier. So 7 p.m. was really dead. So I eliminated 7 p.m. and I also wanted to make sure I'm just home for dinner with the family all the time. So we do a 4, 5, 6 Monday through Thursday. Friday we do 4 and 5 p.m. Now for in-season, we do a Sunday at 9 a.m. at this location. At our other location, I believe we do a Sunday at 10 a.m. Now our other location is in a building with a wrestling club, with jiu-jitsu, with boxing. So the kids lift and then they go to wrestling. So if you're going to train athletes mixed with adults, that's doable. At one of our locations, we have a 7 p.m. We found that it was a little bit slow with athletes. So what we do is, and it's going to get busier now because of the wrestlers will come in at 7, we mix that group of adults and athletes. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but sometimes it works. My preference is really not to train parents and their kids at the same time, because you're training the adults. They need to focus on their workout, but then in the corner of their eye, they're kind of watching their son or daughter not doing this, yes, doing that, and then they try to interject and become the coach, and it becomes a conflict of interest. So 4 o'clock tends to work really well, maybe even earlier if you're very close to a school, and if you're getting support from the coaches, talk to the coaches and say, hey, if the kids are done with school at 3 o'clock, I'll run my gym from 3:30 to 4:30, or maybe 3:15 to 4 p.m., for the athletes if you guys are willing to support us. And if your coaches are really supportive of that, that's huge. So you take them through a 45-minute to a 1-hour training session. You also might want to find out what they're doing at school, if you could complement that or supplement that kind of training. But really, I look at the athlete as an individual and assess them. We utilize Wodify for software. We have that workout that we're taking them through, and then my coaches are trained. If you've gone through the Underground Strength Coach certification online, you saw how we utilize progressions and regressions. It allows us to have middle school, high school, and college athletes in the same room doing similar but not exactly what they need. Then there's a lot of individual nuances where we're working on maybe mobility, attacking weak areas. I even do that in the college setting. So we have to, in the college setting, I have to be able to blend wrestlers today who came in, who wrestled yesterday, who are recovering, wrestlers who didn't win yesterday, who have to work on getting stronger. In season, we're working on the red shirts and the starters. So we're working around a lot of different stuff. So your coaches definitely want that knowledge. You know, if you invest in your coaches, have them go through our online certification or take a trip out here. You know, January 20th and 21st, going to be doing that with my boy Travis Mash. In season is once a week. That's the program that we use. Does that mean that's all they should train? No, I just find that that's the case due to time. For my own children, when they get older, and my daughter plays tennis, my son plays baseball and wrestles, they'll train twice a week. Short workouts, 25 to 30 minutes, but the reason why they'll be able to flourish from those short in-season workouts is because I'll have built their foundation leading up to this high school time. So if you're training a high school kid who's got no background in strength and is very weak, then those workouts won't be 25 minutes. You're probably going to need to do a higher volume of work. But then to play the devil's advocate, they might be so weak that the volume will interfere with their sports skill. So there's a lot of things you want to juggle. And what I would do, Matt, inside the Underground Strength Academy is use the search bar and just type in season. And then you'll come across some of the in-season programs I've done inside the academy. Get to your next questions. Would I recommend writing a different workout? You certainly can. If you're using a whiteboard, you could have the in-season workout put up there, or you could adjust the volume and make slight changes to your normal workout. Our in-season athletes do a full body workout because we only see them once a week. What I would like you to do from there is create either a PDF or a private Facebook group for your gym members and post some extra stuff for them to do. Some simple calisthenics or dumbbell work or med ball work on their own. Next question. We live in a pretty small community, 6,000 people in my town and about a 40,000 person reach in the surrounding area. I'm not sure what the price point should be for this program. I don't want to go too cheap because I know what I'm capable of doing. At the same time, I don't want to give people sticker shock when they're already paying so much for their kids' activities. Traveling, hotel, food, sporting fees, and so on. My daughter is in cheer and it is expensive. How do you convince parents that the benefit is worth the cost when they're already paying so much in other places? Great questions. Our membership for our athletes range from $195 to $295 a month. That may not be the price point I would use if I lived, I'm not even sure where you live, Matt, but let's say I lived in the Carolinas. It would probably be cheaper than that. So the cost of living is different in all the places. On the flip side, I travel an hour each way for my daughter's tennis. I travel 30 minutes for my son's baseball, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. We are in a world where everything is decommoditized, deconstructed, and think about Amazon and purchasing things and food being delivered. So people are used to convenience and discounts and affordability. The number one thing you must do is change lives with your training. You have to be great. Now, I'm not saying you're not great. I'm just saying this is my message to all coaches. And I often ask, is the make or break $50 a month? So let's say I'm $200 a month. If I say it's $150, does that make or break somebody? I'm going to tell you a story. I had a father who brought his son on again and off again. And in the final time he emailed me, I still remember, I was on a family vacation. and I got an email on Christmas Day saying that if the membership was like $150 instead of $195, he would do it. And I remember that father having a luxury car, twice the price of what my SUV would be. And what it really taught me was he is price shopping for his child, but not price shopping for the car. And really, somebody like that is not gonna stay. They're trying to nickel and dime you. And what this is really about is when I charge, or when you charge what you're worth, I could pay my coaches a little bit better. I could invest in the equipment, invest in the education. I feel better about giving them a great world-class experience, yet not charging them Walmart prices. And it's true. It's the bottom line. I don't believe just because somebody's more expensive that they're better. Better is better, right? What if I have no membership at my gym and it's free? There's no dollar amount. That doesn't make the guy who's charging $5 a day or a workout better than me because he's charging more. So use your gut instinct. Don't worry about what other gyms are doing, who's charging more, who's less. I'm going to be in the middle. It doesn't matter. You've got to charge what you believe is worth it. Our lower prices come from those that train with us for a year, who do the long term. To be honest with you, the kids that stop training in season, or they just come and go for whatever reasons, they come back weaker. They come back literally unable to move, as if they never lifted before. They squat halfway down. They forget how to keep their back flat. They forget the details that we hammered home. And it's like they almost never trained with us. And so what happens is I want to work with athletes and parents who understand this is a long-term process. Listen to my Strong Life podcast with Jeremy Augusta. I don't know if he mentioned it in the podcast, but he said when he speaks with parents, he says, I'm only going to train your son or your daughter if you train and sign up for the year. I'm not doing, an off-season only program. And I know a lot of coaches, sport coaches out there don't like me because I say, train with us. Well, listen, to me, everything's very black and white when it comes to kids. If you as a sport coach are not giving them better sports performance than we are, then it's very black and white. Let's encourage them to do what's best for the kids. Some other options you could do is team training. So if you get 8 or 10 or come up with a minimum number of kids from the team, then you give them a discounted price. But this is what I do. If you leave and then want to come back, I don't discount the price over again. So that team rate is in effect for a certain time period, or it's in effect as long as you are a member. Otherwise, you have people that come and go and they're just not really serious about it. But I also understand that, look, what you're saying is, there's a lot of other expenses. There's the sport, there's the gear, there's the travel. Well, when, I've had parents talk to me about price, and if I feel they're genuine, I'll say, okay, now it's free. And guess what? Far, far and few between continue bringing their child there, which means they stop seeing value in it. Number two, far and few between say thank you for genuinely taking care of my family in this difficult time. If I couldn't afford it for my own kids, I would be mowing lawns and washing cars on top of my other work. So I'm a little bit of a thick-skinned guy with this because I've been running the business since 2002, and I've seen the people who are in versus the people who, are looking just for who's cheaper and closer to home. Feel free to ask more questions. I'm going to answer those further questions as private, unlisted videos and post them on the forum at undergroundstrengthcoach.com. Congratulations, and being part of Underground Strength Academy, you have a ton of resources. Use that search bar, like right here. I could click on search, and I'll just type in season. Let me see if I could actually flip this around. I think I can. I just typed in the words in season, and we've got the in-season wrestling program. We've got the 8-week preseason wrestling. The Gridiron Gladiator Transformation Program. It's when I was training the football guys, turn them into hammers. Underground Strength Movies, which means that we've got in-season programming in there. Underground Strength Movie, so I'm training a high school team right in this video. Louis Simmons, talking about in-season workouts. These guys were college guys right here. Video, more in-season training. Underground Strength Movie of the Month. QnA, training for soccer. Look at this, 2013. Active Recovery. Lessons learned from the underground, very cool. Another Louis Simmons interview. Wow, a lot of old school stuff here. 2014, 2013, 2012. College baseball team with minimal equipment. UndergroundStrengthCoach.com. That's it, guys. Much respect. Talk to you guys soon. And that's that. I believe we're out.